Welcome back. It's your girl, I am Stacy Renee, and I am back with another vlog. So as I told you all earlier today, I was going to start having cooking segments on my channel, and today is going to be episode 1. So what I'm going to do is take a recipe that I found on YouTube, and I am going to shout out the person who I am going to follow or try to see if I can follow that recipe, and adding my own little twists and turns to it. And at the end, we're going to decide if it was a flip or if it was a flop. So today's recipe is going to be a chuck roast. It is inspired by smoking and grilling with AB. Go over and check out his recipe of it. It definitely looks good. Some of the things I have, some of the things I don't have. So I showed you all in the beginning of this video everything that I was going to use. So we're going to get ready and start. I'll be back with the first one. Okay, I'm back. So what I'm going to start off with is my vegetables. I have about 1, 2, 3, 6 celeries. And I'm going to cut these up. I'm going to take this little white piece off. I don't need that. Sit that over to the side, and I'm going to take that tip off as well. And then you just have your celery, and I'm going to cut it, you know, not too big, just kind of, you know, more so like this size. And I'm going to do that to all of them. How was you all today? Are you all ready for Thanksgiving? Let's see. It looked really good when I saw it on his channel. I pray that mine is not a flop. You guys know how to do this already. I just cut the tops off, especially when I see that right here. I cut it. I look down here. I get rid of something. And just like I said, just cut him up per his channel. This is what he did. That's up to you guys how much celery you want to have in there. But I like to have it cut. And then, you know, and you don't have to use the same amount of celery. Like if you're not a celery person, the celery is basically up to you how much celery you want in here. Okay, so I have my celery cut up. Now I already have, I'm going to be using some organic rainbow baby mini carrots. And my celery is already washed, and everything's already washed over here. So I'm going to go ahead and add my celery to my carrots. And then I'm going to get rid of my mess. Then what I'm going to do, I have some pre-washed potatoes. I'm going to leave the skin on, but I'm going to try to cut them as small as I can and hopefully around the same size. It'll help them cook evenly.
fix it. The most prescribed biologic asthma.
Now I had this onion inside inside of my refrigerator, Ziploc bag. You know what I mean? So now we just use this. Now I'll just put that in there, and I'm gonna go ahead and just cut this down. You know, because I told you I love to have.
I do not use the tips of my potatoes. I don't eat them right now.
Makes it a little bit easier to
for what I'm doing. And I am watching him.
The objective
wow.
is here to keep these all about the same size, right? Reason being, I
do
want
this
them ready at the same time. I don't want something too soft, the other's too hard, right? We want to get this nice, warm,
I want to try to make sure I have equal amount of potatoes
we're going to put some of that flavor on this
to
from the seed,
my vegetables.
That nice color and all of that, right? What I want to do is I want to take a little bit of my olive oil, which I need to add some more to it. Just a little bit, just enough so I can get everything coated. Really didn't have nothing but about a half a teaspoon. Get in here in my hand, just move it around, get it all coated, flavor up these onions. Reason being, because when we put that seasoning in here, we want everything to just to adhere and stick.
Okay.
So look at that right there. And then we'll go ahead and go with.
Now, he did use some of his own seasoning. He has his own seasoning line. So he did utilize some of his own seasoning. I don't have his seasoning, so I'm going to utilize my own. And I showed you that in the beginning of the video. I'll tell you my measurements. But again, if you make this based off of me, use your own measurements. If you base it off of his channel, then you're more than welcome to use his.
Just put a little bit down here just so we can get something
okay.
Until this chuck starts producing its own, right? It's nice and hot. And now, check this out.
Okay. Now what I'm going to do is
you heard it. What I want to do is I'm going to leave it right
rinse off my potatoes because I had cut them on this cutting board and I want to rinse them off.
The aromatic that is kicking back up to me right now.
The cutting board is clean, but I still want to rinse my potatoes off.
Okay, so this is what I want you to see. If you saw how mine is, this particular cut of meat, how it opens
okay,
up.
now I'm going to take my potatoes and put them in the bowl as well.
So what I'm doing is now you take a sharp knife.
Rinse my knife off.
Cut that off. So this is going in there too. And I want to brown that, and I want to do a better job of browning this better. Because all of this is the flavor. This is what's going to make it soft.
Like my cutting board.
Okay, so once you finish doing
now
that,
what I'm going to do is cut up a red onion.
I know somebody want to probably take this and cook this down, but you know what? It's right here.
If you don't like the red onion, you do not have to use it. It's optional. I use it because this is what he used, and I like red onion. So
So I'm gonna push this out the way.
definitely use whatever vegetable of your choice. I'm recreating his chuck roast with my own little twist.
Nice and soft. We're gonna produce a lot. We're gonna start out with a little base, and we're gonna go from there. This is the way I do mine, folks. You gotta let me know how you do yours. And then for me, I like to have that red onion in there too. If you want to get yourself a saucepan, right?
Cut them nice size. Try to cut them evenly.
I'll start somewhere right around there, like medium. Look, this is beef. This got a lot of the flavor. We working with beef, right? But we're gonna level this up just a little bit more, right? So let me go and get this in here. We want to bring this up to a boil and get it nice and hot.
Okay.
That's a nice little
and now I'm going to take my onions and break them up and get them up in here.
I want you guys to pay attention to this. Look, I'll put a little bit of that better than bouillon. Look, this right here, that's that roasted beef. This right here is what's gonna level this up. You know what I mean?
Try to get them, break them up and get them in here the best you can.
It's Christmas time, and then I'll just give it like about that much.
Drop one.
Since it's hot already, it'll just dissolve, nice and easy.
Okay. Then
It's Christmas in 3 weeks. Just look after them till like the final pasta roll.
go pick up the one I dropped. I am back. I am sorry about that. So I have all of my veggies here in the bowl.
Look, gotta get myself a potato.
And I'm going to sit this to the side until I need it.
Onion, all of that, right? Hey, you know what? I'm definitely not gonna overdo
And
it.
that is just our celery, our potatoes, our carrots, our red onion, and our white onion. So now I have my chuck roast. I'm going to season it.
This right here is fire.
So what I'm going to do is, because usually I just season it, but for this purpose, I'm going to put all my seasonings into one bowl. And I have a 1 teaspoon, a half a teaspoon, and a half a tablespoon that I will be using.
That right there, that flavor profile along with the beef,
Complete seasoning.
all of that. This right here is like,
I am going to go with a 1 teaspoon.
Quite a bit. Now, let me know down in the comment section below, what would you do to like level this up? This is more of a traditional, style pot roast. And don't forget, the full ingredient list will be down in the description box below. Now, with that being said, let me take this time to say thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, smash that subscribe button, and tell everybody.
I love everything hot. So, I am going to be using some Cajun
And
seasoning.
guess what, folks? Merry Christmas, and I'm out. Peace.
And I am going with 1 teaspoon as well. I am going to go with 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Like I said, I like for my stuff to have like a little to it. I am going to go in with 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. Not salt, garlic powder. I am going to go in with a half a teaspoon of all-purpose seasoning. And I'm going to go in with a half a teaspoon of meat tenderizer.
All right, all right.
You live on YouTube now? Come on, man. You gotta be in 2 places at one time.
Okay. Hey,
And then I'm going to finally add a half a teaspoon of black pepper.
I told you, man, I feel like, hey, homie, you huge, man. Because look, when I'm out in my daily life, they all say this to me, like,
Now I'm going to take the bottom of the and just kind of mix it all together.
I was taking a picture with a lady. She's like, hey, look, I'm about to be off work.
Did you sell her a cookbook?
Kind of mix it all
No,
together.
I did it. I did it.
That's what I was in for sure.
And so what I'm going to do is now I am going to preheat my stove, my cast iron, back.
We got greens, we got mac and cheese, we got fried chicken, we got beans, we got cornbread potentially. And whatever else
I'm gonna put medium
to
heat.
have a little fun. Make some food for you guys.
Rinse this off.
Back in stock. Those of you YouTube looking over here, because I'm live on Instagram as well, so my apologies for that. We're looking at like 7 different cameras right now. Another one over here. But the cookbook is back in stock. If you buy it today, you're getting a signed copy from me and AB, and it's free shipping right now with the code FREESHIP. FREESHIP. Free ship.
So while that is warming up, what I am going to do is season my meat. And I'm just going to take my seasoning and just kind of season my meat. Make sure I get it really coated. Don't be afraid of it. Season your meat. If you like your stuff seasoned, season your meat. Get all up in there. Because you want to season. You want to make sure you get the sides. Touch your meat. Don't be scared. And if you run out of seasoning, guess what? Start over. Or just fill it out. I'm going to flip her. And I ran out of seasoning. Well, we know what we use. I'm going to use some garlic powder. A little bit of meat tenderizer. A little bit of all-purpose. Some complete seasoning. Cayenne pepper. A little bit of Cajun. What I'm now going to do is pat this in, because I want to make sure I get it on my sides. So my little extra seasoning that I got on my cutting board here, I'm going to take my meat because I want to get it all. I want to get all my seasoning. I want all that, all that. See these little areas right here that didn't get touched? Get in, get your seasoning in. I want all of that. Okay. So now that I have that seasoned, I'll put a little pepper on there. I forgot some pepper. Put a little black pepper on there. Okay. So now that I'm going to wipe my pepper thing off, y'all. So now that I have my meat seasoned and my skillet is getting hot, let me wash my hands. I am going to brown my roast. Just give it a little, you know, a little outer crisp. So now I'm going to take just a little bit, about a tablespoon or so. And I want that to cook. Get that a little hot, a little warm. Make sure I get that coated. Yeah, I heard that. He didn't do all of this, but this is what I'm doing. So now I want to take my roast and I want to sit it in here. Yeah, I heard that. Now let that cook. Just a little bit. I'm going to clean this up. I'll be back. While that is cooking, today's wine is going to be Bay Ridge Vineyards Pink Moscato. And I just want to get it a nice little sear on the bottom. Nice little brown color. It's cooking nice. It's cooking nice. You don't want to burn it. You just want to get a nice little brown color on the bottom. And then I'll flip it over and get the same color on the opposite side. And then I'll try to hold her and maneuver it around each side and get that color around there as well. So, I'll come back when it's time to flip it. All right, let's see. I'm just going to give it a flip. Yeah, look at that. Nice little color. And do the same thing for the other side. The aroma, y'all, man, it smells so good. He was right. And I use my own seasoning. And so while the other side is cooking, I am going to go ahead and prepare my oven to be on 350. I'm going to allow this to cook for about 2.5, 3 hours, and then I'm going to check it out. So while this is browning on this side, I'll come back to you. Alrighty, let's check this side. Okay. Nice little color. So now I'm going to try and and because it's breaking like this, what I'm going to do is cut it down the middle so I can get this middle piece as well. Okay. Now I'm going to take this piece and kind of because I just needed to get that brownish color, a little cooking, little sear, as they call it. I'm not a chef, so I call it browning, you know? Okay, see? Got that fat. Pick it up and get this top piece. And you know, just put it on there for about 2 little seconds because you just want it to get a sear. You know something. And then once this has done, I'm going to put it to the side because I'm going to make my sauce that's going to go in my pot. I'm sorry. I'm going to make my sauce that's going to go in my pot with my vegetables. Let that sit there and sit that like that for a minute. You know, based off of your stove, it's, you know, how you turn it up based off of your stove. I have an electric stove, so I don't have a gas stove. I think he used a 1-eye burner. I won't be able to get this side because it's kind of split up so I can get this side. Just like I said, just trying to get a little sear on it, a little brown colored tone. So now that I have these, oh baby, look good. cutting board back out. And then I'm going to pull it off the fire. Kind of sit it to the side here. Look at that. And I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. And go ahead and let that finish getting a little bit more browner for me. Browner. Is that a word? I'd have had 2 sips too many, y'all. But again, the meal is inspired by smoking and grilling with AB. And I will put his channel, link his channel in below. He has some awesome food ideas, and I do know this won't be the first one that I try and see if I can recreate. Okay. So now I'm going to take this one off. Okay, and set it to the side. Okay, let me turn this off and move this out the way and straighten up, and I'll be back. All right. So now that I have everything cleaned up over here, I've got a saucepan. And what I'm going to do with that saucepan is I'm going to put in, I have some beef broth. I'm going to put in one of these, because this is going to be the sauce that's going to go in with my vegetables. This is what's going to give it that flavor as he sees. Okay? Move this out the way. Then I am going to take, this is premium better than bouillon roasted beef base. He said it's gonna bring it up a notch. And you want to take just about a tablespoon. But first, hold on. I want this to boil. I want this to get hot first. So while that's getting hot, something different I am going to do is I am going to incorporate some garlic into mine. So I have 5 cloves, and I'm just going to basically just cut them. And I'm going to throw them in with my vegetables and my meat. Just to give me another flavor added, another added flavor. Okay, so I have my garlic ready. And so I'll come back when this boils. Alrighty, I am back. So now that I have my beef broth boiling, now I am going to add about a tablespoon of the beef bouillon. And since this is hot, it will go ahead and melt off and you know, melt throughout it. It won't take long. So I'm going to stir this. And I've already cut up some thyme. I have some organic thyme that I use. Worst cooks in America. Let's see if it's a flip or a flop. So now that I have that boiling, what I'm going to do is bring back my vegetables. So I'm going to be using a roasting pan, if that's what it's called. I hope so. So I'm going to add my roast to it. Right. Then I am going to sprinkle in your thyme. And all that in there. And this is where I am going to add my garlic. Then I'm going to add my vegetables. The seasoned vegetables. And I don't want to submerge my meat in it because I got a lot of vegetables. And lots of vegetables. I love vegetables. Let me move this over here because I don't want to burn myself. And then I'm going to take my spoon, kind of move the vegetables around. Try to get a little middle part like you said with my meats. Okay? You can see the meat right here in the middle. See my little meat down here in the middle. And now, and I don't have a lid for this, y'all, so don't judge me. Judge somebody else. I'm going to take my batter, not my batter, my little beef broth, and just pour it in here. Oops, I spilled it. Okay. I want to make sure it's not covered, and it's not. Okay. And now I have my oven set to 350. I'm going to cover this with some aluminum foil. And then I'm going to let it cook for probably 2.5, 3 hours, and I'll check it and see what it's doing. So, this is my recreation. And I'm going to put it in the oven and see how it turns out after 3.5 hours, 2.5, 3 hours. And I'll be back and show you. Alright, so now I have everything in the oven. Everything is cooking. I'm going to come back in about 2.5, 3 hours and see what it looks like. And then I'm going to prepare my gravy to go on. Do not judge me. Do not take my black card. I do not know how to make gravy. No. Your girl is going to be using, and I probably missed my whole meal of using this. Doubt it. Because I'm using this. Every time I make gravy, let me tell you guys, it don't come out right. And today, I don't have the patience to do that. So I will not be trying to recreate his gravy. Not today, at least. But I will be recreating this gravy. So, like I said, in about 2.5, 3 hours, I will come back and I will show you what it looks like. In the meantime, in between time, I am going to enjoy, a little bit more of this peach moscato. Glass is half empty. And I'll be back and show you how it is. Again, I want to give a huge shout out to Smoking and Grilling with AB for his inspired dish, chuck roast and vegetables. You all get a chance, go over to his channel and pick out your recipe and follow it. Let me know how it turns out. See you in a couple hours. Okay, we're back. So let's see. This is how it looks. Was it a flip or a flop? I think it was a flip. Thank you for watching. And until next time, be blessed.